I'm here with Arthur. Arthur is the man responsible for the artwork on the BASSLOVE LP and some of my releases recently. Arthur, how's it going?
Not bad. How about yourself?
Yeah, really good, really good.
Good.
I wanted to speak to you about the influences for the artwork, but also your influences in general, historically, how you got your style.
I mean, first and foremost, like, I used to listen to your stuff back in the day, you know? I used to go raving. Like, I used to go to Bagley's a lot when I was in my teens. Part of my youth growing up was jungle raving and graffiti, you know?
Okay.
That's how I kind of, like...
What area did you grow up?
Shepherd's Bush.
Okay.
You know, West London. So we used to have to like, travel to King's Cross, obviously, to go to Bagley's. We'd go Fabric. We'd do the, like, what was it? Every last Sunday was the True Players thing.
Friday,
Driving back on the A40. Like, I probably shouldn't say this, but like 3 people in the back, 1 person in the boot. You know what I mean? Like 6 a.m. with no fucking insurance. But anyway, part of the culture.
Yeah,
you know?
made it out alive.
Yeah. And the graffiti thing was just a byproduct of my environment. You know what I mean? Like, my school friends, they were into it. Growing up near Ladbroke Grove, especially, was influential for graph. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Saw some of the best around.
Yeah.
You know, and that's it. That's how it started.
And so for the BASSLOVE stuff, it's like very vibrant colours. And how did you arrive at that style?
Again, I would say like a mix of seeing colourful graffiti from the area, but also going to raves and like the light shows and the visuals, you know, were always really like impactful. The first time you go somewhere and you see like full blown like neon visuals, it's super empowering. Do you know what I mean? Like audio sensory visuals, and it always stuck with me. So I've always wanted to make my work, especially, stand out. You know, let's say it's on train tracks or on a train, for example. You know, you want it to be bold, vibrant, legible.
Right.
Certain people like their stuff to be like wild style, but mine was always like big, blocky, bold, colourful sort of stuff. And yeah, that's how that went.
Yeah, and for me, what I love for music artwork is very bold, blocky, colourful. You know, like really like instantly you can see it, and you can see it looks good when it's small, looks good when it's big.
Sure, that's it.
So yeah, that's why I was originally asked you to do it. And
because it's like, you know what it is? It's like, it's not overcomplicating things, keeping it quite straightforward, but bold enough to be identifiable. And this is the style that I'm proud to say that I've developed over the course of like 20 plus years of painting.
You were talking about simplicity, and it really reminded me of with music as well. Simplicity is the key. Don't overcomplicate things.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, I've heard people say that like it's ready when you can't take anything away from it. This is something that has been said in the ether, but equally, like, I can work on something and then overwork it, and then when you start putting too much effort into it, you're like, shit, you know what, it was better before. Like, you know, and but the simplicity is actually crucial, because like some of the best, like, you know, garage and jungle tunes are just straight up like a bass line, like a melody, and the drum pattern. Do you know what I mean? And
like
nothing
a
else.
one-bar loop.
You know what I mean? Right, for real.
Yeah.
And obviously, I'm really enjoying like the complexities of the resurgence of jungle, and how, like, you know, like quantizing music.
Who do you like of the new people?
I've got to give a shout out to the Brighter Days lot, you know, like all them lot. They're killing it, man. You know, like they've got a nice sort of eclectic mix of even like sort of Afrobeat to jungle to garage, mixing up all sorts of different stuff, but fucking groovy stuff. But you know what it is? It's like keeping the same formula, but just switching it up a little bit, you know. Like, and again, similar to music and art, everything is a remix of something else.
I've heard copy the thinking, not the thing.
Right. Okay.
As
I've not heard that one.
Inspirational.
Either. Interesting. Yeah.
Thing. Yeah.
Because like a lot of my style, my graffiti style, was inspired by other writers. You know, I'm not going to bite them, but I'm going to see them and think, how can I sort of like turn like that into my own twist in it. And I guess equally, I mean, with a lot of the new producers nowadays, they would have listened to your stuff back then and they thought, oh shit, that one was wicked. How can I sort of like, not one up it, but just like, how can I put my spin on it?
Yeah. What I always find with music is I listen to something and I think, how does it make me feel? and how can I make something that
Yeah.
makes me feel
Yeah, for
like
real.
that?
That's it.
You know, it's that
Yeah.
kind of vibe.
It's the same as the art, man. You know, like I do it from a place which is really just like organic from me. And going back to what you said about putting out a tune or a piece of art, yeah, there's a vulnerability to it. You know what I mean? And it's quite fucking
What do you
scary,
think
like.
about, like, say you put a new piece on Instagram or whatever, are you like checking back to see what people say, or do you just like put it on and move on?
You know what, right? It's really weird because like if I put some of my graffiti shit up on there, people are like, oh, that's so heavy, like I rate that because I've seen you from yesteryear, whatever. But the new stuff that I'm pushing, like my art stuff, it doesn't get as much love, which I'm cool with because obviously that's just progress and evolution.
Yeah.
And most of the people that like follow me or know who I am, like they're more into my graph. You know, I haven't really got like an art market.
Right.
Per se, do you know what I mean? For the time being. So it is a bit of a weird juxtaposition, but you know, I still think that people will pick up on it. A lot of people do come to me and say, I can see immediately your my new stuff, my artwork that's available to buy and the murals, whatever, is directly influenced from my old graph. And I can even look back at my old photographs and think, I'm using the same color pattern, the same colorways, the same fades, the same sort of like graphics, but just sort of like, you know, tweaking them.
Yeah.
And getting them a bit better.
You know what I found over the years is that you'll be doing something now and people are like, oh yeah, I quite like it. But in 5 years, they'll say, I used to love, you know, like, it's surprising how many people like refer to your older stuff. I don't know if it's like nostalgia or if it's just, there's some people, they'll hear a new tune and there's like about, I don't know, 5% of people will hear a new tune and go, this is great, what is it? And then 95%, and then, you know, like, other people, some of them like, oh no, they only want to hear what they already know. Yeah. And I think it's the same with art. It's like, some people are going to see something new and they're going to be really into it, but a lot of people just want to see what they already know.
Man, it's proof's in the pudding. But I've always been an advocate for like art and with music. Like, there's no real end to it. Like, I'm not really about to like think, oh, I've done art now, I've completed it. There's so much more to explore.
Yeah.
You know, I'm always going to be progressing, using new techniques, developing my style, things like that. So there's going to be like touches of the old stuff, but just with a new flavor in it. You know? And equally, when I get into music next year, and I told you that we're going to start making some tunes, right? You know, it's going to be the same thing. It's like just using like a basic formula, but then just like putting my own spin in it. Yeah. And making it identifiable.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to try and make tunes that sound like your pictures look.
Yeah, man, listen, like the synesthesia stuff like resonates with me, man.
Yeah,
like,
it's interesting, you know, I know Goldie sometimes he draws the song.
Yeah, for real.
Like
yeah,
on a
no, I've spoken
whiteboard.
to him once about, he didn't touch on that, but, you know, like, I've even been researching, like, I think the artist is Kandinsky or something, like, he would only draw to music, and I'm learning more about my craft, and which is like, give me some headphones, give me like a wicked fucking mixtape, I mean like a Brocky 96 tape, for example, do you know what I mean, right? Yeah. And then like the artwork that will come off the back of that, it really does depend on what I'm listening to and also the mood that I'm in for what the output is, you know, but yeah, definitely.
Brocky 96 all the way.
For real, man, like, you know.
So your stuff's available in the Enter Gallery, and have you got your own website where people can buy your stuff?
Yeah, so Enter Gallery, the only gallery currently that represent me, they're down in Brighton. My website, it's only Arthur, across the board, that's my handle. It's sort of a work in progress sort of thing, but I've decided for next year to make myself, like, to be a bit more incognito. Like, you can still purchase my stuff, but it's not going to be very easy to do so. Like, I'd rather do more sort of bespoke work for certain clients, for example, instead of it just being like mass produced, because I've found, again, quality, not quantity, is sort of where I'm going for. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But, yeah, it's onlyarthur.com all the way through.
Wicked. Arthur?
Oh man, listen.
Thank you.
Pleasure all the
Big
time,
up.
man. And yeah, check it.